get to that in just a moment. This thing has, a really bright white light, about 1,000 lumens it can emit for up to 1.75 hours. So it's really bright. And you got a lot of life out of it, too. It has some adjustments on it where you can adjust it to a medium beam of 150 lumens. And on that setting, it lasts about 5 hours, 15 minutes, something like that. And then it has a low setting of 15 lumens, and it can last up to about 37 hours with that setting. It's only about 8 inches long. It's about 8.1 inches long to be exact. And the weight with the batteries is 10.2 ounces. And the batteries is one lithium ion.
That's relatively lightweight.
It's it's pretty lightweight, easy to carry. Batteries are one lithium ion or 123A batteries. I'm not sure what that is, but it's what the story says here. And the flashlight was designed for law enforcement officers and has a head and tail cap switches on it. So it's user programmable, dual fuel capable light. Also has the ability to run on either its included rechargeable lithium ion or, like I said, 2 of the disposable or rechargeable 123A cells. It's got a micro textured reflector in it that produces a real nice smooth wide beam. It's got extensive reach on it, and obviously with 1,000 lumens it's going to have a generous peripheral illumination too. It's perfect for a broad range of police and personal security applications, including temporarily blinding opponents. It's got a tactical tail cap switch that activates the 1,000 lumen output, and you press on that switch for a momentary on, or you can twist it and it stays on constant. And if you program it, if the user programs it to do so, pressing the tail cap switch like 3 times real fast will activate this high intensity strobe mode that's built into the light. And a separate click type head switch lets you access the 3 light levels, the 1,000, 150, and the 15 lumens. Or it can be programmed just only to activate with the high output only. The charging of the lithium ion battery is accomplished with this built-in charging port on the side of the flashlight's body. So there's no need to even remove the battery from the flashlight or replace, the light in some kind of separate charging cradle. It just kind of plugs right in to a wall AC charger. International adapters. I guess it comes with some varied adapters, so you can plug it in no matter what country you happen to be in. Also has a car charger available. I think that comes with it too, so you can charge it with your cigarette lighter in your car. It's constructed from a really tough aerospace aluminum. It's hard anodized, extreme durability. Lawman is O-ring and gasket sealed, so it keeps out the moisture and the dirt and the dust and everything. Now you want one, right? It sounds really good, right? Well, okay.
Sign me up.
Sign you up. Okay. The MSRP for this flashlight is a whopping $455.
Let's get 3.
There's a lot of really good flashlights on the market that cost substantially less than that. I'm sure that the Sure Fire R1 Lawman flashlight is a very, very good flashlight. I'm sure that it's well constructed, but I just would have a really tough time spending $455 for a flashlight. Maybe some of our wealthier listeners out there go, oh, well, that's not too bad. I'd spend that much for it. Hey, more power to you.
It sounds like a really cool flashlight, though.
If you buy one, shoot us an email on our website and let us know, or on our Facebook, and let us know how much you like it, because I've never used a $450 flashlight before.
Are you going to include the link in the show notes?
Yep, I'll put the link to everything that we've talked about in this episode in our show notes, which can be found on our website, which we'll give you a little bit later. But that's a review on a $455 flashlight. Go Sure Fire. If you can get that much out of it, good for you.
Very cool. What I want to talk about this week is called a Prohands Tactical. Sometimes it's difficult to find the time to make it to the range. And when you dry fire, sometimes that's just not enough. And if you've got to train your entire hand, wrist, and forearm to be able to lock into your target, especially if you have weak hands, like I have a weak right hand due to an injury. This Prohands Tactical is the #1 hand exerciser in the world. It has spring-loaded pistons for each finger, and on the tactical mode, they've added a laser sight for training. And the combination of exercising your fingers with the laser on is the key.
Now, what's the point with the laser?
Well, the point with the laser is that you can turn the laser on, and that helps you focus when you're exercising your trigger finger.
So when you're squeezing with your trigger finger, you're supposed to keep the laser nice and steady, I guess, is the premise there.
And what this does is it trains your entire hand, your wrist, your forearm to stay locked in on the target. What you do is you fix the red laser dot on a target 10 to 15 meters away, and then challenge yourself to keep the laser steady on the target while exercising your fingers. Then they suggest that you train for 3 different distances. Close range is 2 to 3 meters, mid-range is 6 to 8 meters, long range 12 to 15 meters. You start close and then progress to the greater distance as you develop more strength and proficiency. And there's 3 ways to use it. You have the stabilizer plugs inserted, which strengthen trigger finger only while it's locked in on the target. The laser sight gives immediate feedback for trigger control. The second way is you can remove the plugs and exercise all of the fingers and the hand while the laser is locked in on the target. And the third way, you can remove the plugs and the laser to exercise anywhere at any time. It comes in 4 different trigger pull weights. There's a 5-pound, which is a great entry-level model for new shooters and young people. The 7-pound is recommended for most shooters who have average hand strength. The 9-pound is recommended for competitive shooters and experienced law enforcement professionals. The 11-pound is for those requiring exceptional power and strength, such as SWAT, Navy SEALs, and people like that. The MSRP on this is $44.95. You can buy it at your local Dick's Sporting Goods, Academy Sports, or other retailers. You can also get the same brand hand exerciser on eBay that doesn't have the laser sight on it for about $14.
That's a lot better deal than $44.
Well, the $14 is a better deal. And I actually have one of the hand exercisers without the laser. And it really is good to build that hand strength.
That's something you can use, too, while you're just sitting watching TV. And you can just, put that in your shooting hand. And, well, your non-shooting hand, too, because it needs to be strengthened up as well. And you can do it while you're just sitting there watching television. That's a pretty cool gadget.
It is, and it really does work. The lasers, I have just seen the one with the laser sight, and I can't wait to get it and try it out.
That's awesome. Okay, well, it's almost time for our main topic, but before we do our main topic, we always like to take a little music break. So let's listen to some music. You may have heard the song before, but I guarantee you haven't heard the words.
In a world where there aren't enough songs about firearms, one podcast stands alone. The Speaking of Guns podcast presents Songs You Have Heard with all new words.
Some guns are made, painted like a flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue. And when it's time to take them to the range, people look and go, oh, Lord. It ain't me, I ain't got no painted gun, son. It ain't me, I got a factory finished gun, yeah. Some guns are finished in green, brown, and tan. Lord, don't they look swell, oh. But when the finish starts to wear off, Lord, they wind up in a rummage sale, yeah. It ain't me, I ain't got no painted gun, son. It ain't me, I got a factory finished gun, yeah. Yeah, some guns are finished with beautiful lines. Ooh, they cost so much more, Lord. And when you ask them the cost of Cerakote, ooh, they only answer more, y'all. It ain't me, I ain't got no painted guns, It ain't me, I got a factory finished gun, yeah. It ain't me, I ain't got no painted guns, no. It ain't me, I got a factory finished gun, yeah.
All right, that was our music break. Fortunate Gun. That's by our friend Brian Deadman. He did that song for us too. He did the song last week, and he did this one as well. Very talented gentleman, Brian Deadman. So thanks, Brian. We appreciate that. Our main topic this episode is kind of timely because it has to do with the upcoming holiday. And the main topic is titled 10 Things That Shooters Should Be Thankful For This Thanksgiving.
Number 1, we should be thankful for so many choices in small, compact guns designed specifically for concealed carry.
We are so blessed to have so many choices for small handguns designed specifically for that, aren't we?
We are.
I mean, you carry a Shield, and I carry a Ruger LC9.
Which are both very, very compact guns.
Very small guns. You know, they're made of plastic composite material, I guess they call it. And they are lightweight. One of the mistakes, though, we have a lot of times with new shooters that come through our concealed weapon class, they're talking about getting a new gun, and they think a lot of times that smaller is better or lighter is better, but we may have to make sure that we reinforce that even if, a small gun has a little bit more recoil to it, too. So that's something that they probably don't even consider.
Well, and they're probably thinking that the larger the caliber, the larger the recoil, no matter what gun it is. But really, it's the size of the gun that also, that in conjunction with the ammunition affects the recoil.
And the weight of the gun, too.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, the weight of the gun.
Right. Number 2 on our list of 10 things that shooters should be thankful for this Thanksgiving is we should be thankful that Trump has won the presidency and that the Second Amendment is safe from the wrong Supreme Court justices being appointed. I mean, that could have went the other way.
It could have.
And then if the Second Amendment got interpreted differently by a new Supreme Court, citizens' ownership of any kind of guns could have definitely been in jeopardy. So we're thankful that Trump won, and at least for the next 4 years that we're safe from that. And hopefully he will have an opportunity to appoint some Supreme Court justices that are pro-gun and will continue to protect our Second Amendment rights.
Absolutely. The third thing that we should be thankful for this Thanksgiving, we should be thankful for so many carry options that are available to us nowadays. As a lady, the wardrobe changes daily, so there's so many different options that is available to us now that wasn't available to us even 10 years ago. And I'm just so grateful that the industry is starting to recognize the growing demographic and changing to meet that need. And
not just ladies, too, but, guys have a lot of new options as well with like the Sneaky Pete holster that I talked about in another episode. That's a great, it's a carry method that wasn't around, 15, 20 years ago because, cell phones and PDAs weren't really that commonplace, but now they are. So when I'm carrying that holster, that Sneaky Pete, which is kind of a rectangular box that attaches to your belt. And you just got called out on that yesterday. Well, that's fun. That's a funny story. I was sitting in the gun shop while the ladies were taking their different turns shooting for our concealed weapon permit class. And this older fella came out and we struck up a conversation. And he was the one that was scaring my students. With a 40 caliber? A 40 caliber. No, that's not too bad. Well, it wasn't bad for me, but some of the ladies were a bit frightened of it. But anyway, he sat down and he happened to look down on my waist and say, "Oh, you got one of those Sneaky Pete holsters, huh?" And I looked down. I said, "Why, yes, I do." And he's the first person that's ever said anything about that Sneaky Pete holster. And I was kind of surprised that he noticed, and then he turned his hip